ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
The highly infectious Delta variant is spreading. Now California is requiring state workers to show proof of vaccination. How local leaders are responding to the surge in cases.
And more than 6 months after the disappearance of a Chula Vista mother, the gun violence restraining order filed against Larry Miliete has been released. What it reveals.
And local bicyclists are calling for safer streets after 5 people were killed in the past month. The changes they're demanding.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
California is now the first state in the nation to effectively mandate vaccines for state employees. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Lindsay Pena. That move comes as COVID cases continue to spike. The state's 7-day daily case rate is now 11.2 new cases per 1,000, compared with 2.4 new cases per 100,000 just 2 months ago. ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner is joining us. And Jen, local leaders are now discussing whether a mask mandate could happen soon.
Lindsay, that's correct. It's being discussed, but no decisions have been made. Meanwhile, vaccination clinics like this county one right behind me, they remain open. This one's open till 5:30 p.m. It is free and no appointment is needed.
246,000 Californians are state employees.
Governor Gavin Newsom announced Monday that starting in early August, California will require that all state workers prove their vaccination or undergo weekly testing.
We're at a point in this epidemic, this pandemic, where choice, individuals' choice not to get vaccinated is now impacting the rest of us in a profound and devastating and deadly way.
Statewide, the daily case average is now more than 6,300, which is more than double the daily average from 2 weeks ago. According to the state, less than 50% of adults 18 to 49 have gotten at least one vaccine dose, and less than 25% of those 50 to 64 have gotten at least an initial dose. Here in San Diego, in the last month, about 90% of new cases involve people who aren't fully vaccinated. More than 1,200 new cases were reported on Friday, the highest since early February. The alarming numbers and the influence of the Delta variant were outlined in the morning City Council meeting on COVID-19 response and recovery.
So if you think, well, I just have a cold, I just have a headache, I just have a sore throat, those are some of the most common symptoms in this Delta variant.
When Dr. Jennifer Campbell asked if there was a threshold at which a mask mandate would be considered, Dr. Jennifer Tudor said the county was looking at the latest data, but no decisions were forthcoming. And we just got new numbers in from the county in the last few minutes. Over the last 3 days, the county is reporting a total of 2,044 new cases. Those have been reported, 55 new hospitalizations, and 3 of those people reportedly in the ICU. Reporting live tonight, Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Jen. The Department of Veterans Affairs is requiring health workers to be vaccinated against COVID-19. It is the first federal agency with a vaccine mandate for employees. The VA secretary says this is the best way to keep veterans safe. Employees will get 4 hours of additional paid leave after showing proof of vaccination. 4 VA employees have recently died of COVID-19. All were unvaccinated. Calls for mask and vaccine mandates are now growing louder as cases continue to skyrocket across the U.S. ABC's Rena Roy shows us how the White House is responding.
As the country desperately tries to fight its way forward, many Americans now facing some steps back when it comes to COVID-19 restrictions.
It is scary, especially when the numbers are getting worse. And so I definitely do think wearing masks would be a good thing.
Officials in Savannah, Georgia and St. Louis, Missouri joining Los Angeles and other areas across the country in mandating masks indoors regardless of vaccination status once again.
Masks have become a symbol of a political divide in our country, but they're not a bridge too far, as some might say. Rather, they put the virus in the slow lane and give us time to get more people vaccinated.
The Delta variant spreading fast, cases up 314% since mid-June. Nationwide, more than 27,000 people are hospitalized with the virus, most unvaccinated.
I'm worried that it's going to get much, much worse. Right now, we're generating about 50,000 Americans getting infected. That number could easily double or triple.
The American Medical and Nurses Associations teaming up with more than 50 other healthcare organizations to call for mandatory vaccinations amongst health healthcare workers. New York City's mayor announcing all city employees must be vaccinated or wear masks and get tested weekly, also urging private employers to require shots.
It's quite clear the Delta variant has changed the game. We need to move to stronger measures.
Similar rules also being implemented in California. And it does appear more people are listening to those calls to get vaccinated. The White House and CDC reporting about 790,000 vaccinations nationwide over the weekend, possibly the biggest 24-hour period since early July. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Not even a full week back, and some parents in the Sweetwater School District say administrators are telling them about student COVID cases. And that has us taking a closer look at the district's response to COVID. When ABC 10 News talked to district officials, they would only say that students have tested positive, but not how many tested positive or where.
The cases were reported after the school year already began. And so it's apparent that the community spread is what has brought COVID to our campuses.
The district says it's following all guidelines from the state, which include masks for everyone indoors, social distancing, and thorough cleaning procedures.
If there happens to be a confirmed case of COVID on a campus, our custodians will fog that whatever area those students have been a part of, and we'll make sure that that is completely sanitized prior to use for the next day.
Sweetwater was the first public district in San Diego to start its school year. The district says that it lets the parents and the staff know right away if someone does test positive, and then they conduct cleaning protocols. Officials also say it offers several vaccination sites for students to get their shots. And you can follow any developments surrounding the pandemic by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News.
A little more than an hour ago, the court released unredacted documents involving the case of missing Chula Vista mother Maya Miliete. It centers around a gun violence restraining order against her husband, Larry. ABC 10 News' Laura Acevedo is live downtown with what they reveal. Laura.
Lindsay, these documents were sealed since May when Larry Miliete was first served with a gun violence restraining order. They were unsealed last week by a judge. Now, the new version of these documents includes 2 pictures of Miliete's firearms. Let me show you a copy of these photographs. These are the photographs in the court documents. They show a cache of 16 firearms, high-capacity magazines, and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. Also, 4 U.S. passports and a government ID. Chula Vista police say these all belong to Larry Miliete, the husband of Maya Miliete, who's been missing since January 7th. One of the pictures shows Miliete's 4-year-old son standing on the table, surrounded by all of the weapons. The timestamp on the photographs are dated January 9th, which is 2 days after Maya was last seen. The documents also reveal the date police say Miliete bought 2 9mm Glocks after his wife's disappearance, one in mid-February and the other in mid-March. Now, according to declarations made in the documents, the city was asking for these documents to stay sealed out of concern that Larry would learn of the gun violence restraining order and flee the state or country with his 3 children, or, quote, likely shoot it out with police. Now, last week was the first time that Larry Miliete was publicly named as a person of interest in the disappearance of his wife. We did reach out to him last week, and via text message, he told us he was, quote, just really disappointed. Reporting live in downtown, Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Laura. And San Diego police are looking for the gunman who shot and killed a man in Emerald Hills overnight. When officers arrived at the scene around 2 a.m., they found a man with gunshot wounds in the parking lot. He was taken to a nearby hospital where he later died. Investigators are now collecting evidence and looking for witnesses. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. And jury selection is underway for the man accused of killing San Diego police officer Jonathan de Guzman. And hundreds of people could be questioned for that high-profile trial. This Wednesday marks 5 years since Officer de Guzman was shot and killed during a routine traffic stop in the South Crest neighborhood. His partner was also shot but survived. ABC 10 News spoke with de Guzman's wife, Jane, in 2017. She told us about their last moments together.
And the last word I heard to him is, I love you, and I love you too. I think it's the most important thing she had to say to someone.
Because you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Jesse Michael Gomez faces multiple charges and the death penalty. Jury selection could take a week or more.
Turning now to our weather, a monsoon is continuing to bring rain and thunderstorms to some parts of San Diego County. ABC 10 News meteorologist Angelica Campos is tracking the improving conditions. Angelica.
Hi, Kim. First, we're going to take a look at the numbers because this has been quite impressive, but I don't think I fit here, so I'm going to move out of the way so you guys can see the numbers here. Over 2 inches in Lake Cuyamaca, in Palomar Mountain, just over an inch, and about 1/10 of an inch to just over 1/4 of an inch in most areas around the county. So it was pretty decent. We still have a flash flood watch in effect until 8 o'clock. It includes our mountains and deserts. So the rest of the county not included, and certainly drier, but it is cloudy and almost looking like June. We will see a few pop-up showers, most likely during the duration of that flash flood watch, but improving as we go into tomorrow. The chance of isolated thunderstorms will continue just for the mountains tomorrow, but we'll see a warm up. A closer look at the numbers in your 7-day forecast.
Thanks, Angelica. Members of the bicycling community are calling for the city of San Diego to take action after 5 cyclists were killed in a 1-month span.
ABC 10 News reporter Nate Holmes shares the group wants protection on the roads and for the city to make changes by the end of the year.
We need solutions now to keep people safe.
Members of the bicycling community gathered in Bird Park, remembering the life of one of their own, tragically killed while riding to work.
Laura Shin was a beloved, talented, and dedicated member of the San Diego community.
Laura Shin was biking along Pershing Drive in Balboa Park when she was hit. Shin was the director of facilities planning for San Diego State University. A memorial now sits on the side of the road, a ghost bike, all white with colorful flowers resting on its tires and cargo rack.
I just feel bad for Laura's family and her friends because they'll never get over it. You just never get over that kind of trauma.
The group calling for action after a number of cyclists were recently killed while riding.
One loss of life is unacceptable. We've experienced 5 in a month's time.
ABC 10 News learned plans were approved to improve the safety for cyclists along Pershing Drive in Balboa Park years ago.
That included protected bike lanes along with sidewalks for pedestrians. We were told funding was available and the project would be completed in a few years. That was 2015, 6 years ago.
The group now demanding city leaders to do something.
We call on Sandag and Mayor Gloria to implement 25 miles of protected bikeways in San Diego every year, starting with a complete network of protected bikeways before the end of 2021. Build the network now, and we can save countless lives.
Nate Holmes, ABC 10 News.
San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria released the following statement on the recent cyclist deaths throughout the city. He says, quote, saving lives should not be controversial, and my administration will continue to work to make sure all who use our roads, regardless of method of travel, are safe.